Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. I'm Fairlight. This was going to be a creekside reading, but it's the rainy day edition. I got rained on, so whatever. You might hear thunder in the back. I'm sitting under a pavilion. But even that, like looking at the cards that are in front of me, and even that whole like adventure, because I was getting ready to do your reading, and so I often take whatever gets my attention right before I do a reading, like that was meant for you. So I feel like I need to describe a little bit. I had my perfect little spot, and it really was nice. And then the rain started. And I was like, oh, how neat, because it was just like starting out, just sprinkling, And right where I was sitting, there was like more of a tree, like way above, overhanging. And so I was protected from the rain until it got so heavy that I got soaked. But I'm drying off, whatever. Got to the pavilion, it's cool. But I feel like metaphorically, what does that sound like? Because, well, I wasn't going to start here, but we might as well just jump right in. Metaphorically, it's like you've got two aces reversed, and this is the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So it's both the feminine signs, which I think is significant. It speaks of, opportunities for financial abundance or to create a new life, create a new physical foundation, and also opportunity for emotional abundance, or, just an opportunity for something that was going to bring you happiness. And so it's funny because I'm not a Virgo, but I feel like I can relate to this. So, we'll go into that, because then the moon is also speaking heavily on this energy. And so how does that correlate to what I just experienced? It's like I got all set up. I believed this is where it was going to happen. I was going to knock out all the earth sign readings, and then water started pouring down, and so I had to get to a different place. But here I am. I'm fine. I'm in a drier place. Now I'm actually able to light my candle. Where I was at, it wasn't safe to have a candle, and I could light the sage, and it's actually pretty comfortable here. So I kind of feel like just allowing, whatever's unfolding right now for you, don't lament too much, I guess. Don't lament these two, because it's like there was this great opportunity, and maybe you were even all set up. Like maybe you had invested some time into something, or even invested, some part of yourself, whether it's money or whatever. You'd really invested yourself there, and it feels like location. It could be like location didn't work out, or just where it felt like you were set up for home or something like that, in a way. And I don't mean to go on and on about it, but I just feel like it's like guides are coming through saying, we see you. We see that how much you wanted to be there, how much you would put this energy in, and you wanted to be there, whatever there represents, whether there was a relationship or a home or a workplace, whatever there was, you really wanted it to be there. But the moon being over these energies, it feels like, whatever there, again, things are still manifesting, and we'll get to that energy. It's like, just because that particular spot, that particular location, or that whatever there it is, didn't quite work out, this energy is still present. And I feel like it may feel like a lost opportunity, but I don't think that it is. I think what this brought forward, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I think what this brought forward is some self-sabotaging patterns. And it could have happened in a way that it seemed like, but it wasn't me, it was them. But even if it was a them, and you seemed victim to it, don't be a victim to it, because if you can allow that reality as a mirror, that even if it was a them that sabotaged it or whatever, look at what were they mirroring to you? How can you benefit from this? How can you grow from this? And often when we start looking at it, we'll start saying, oh, well, I did kind of play into it too. It was us. It was them, but it was also me. And maybe you're not ready to look at that. Maybe you are, whatever, but It's not so much about placing blame. It's a lot more about, where can I find my power in this? Where was I responsible? Where was I co-creating a self-sabotage of everything that I wanted? And then just kind of let it go. Don't let it go. But don't let it go. Let go what didn't work out. Let go the missed opportunity or whatever. Again, allow this an opportunity to reflect on how will you do it better next time. That's what we're getting at. How will you do it better next time, whatever this is? Because then over here, we've got the 9 of spring, which is the 9 of wands, the 8 of summer reversed, which is the 8 of cups, and then the 10 of autumn upright, which is the 10 of pentacles. So this is fucking great. This is don't walk away. So it feels like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. One specific thing didn't work out, but it's like, but again, you learn to recognize some patterns. And it could be patterns of trauma acting itself out. And so if the trauma is acting itself out, it's trauma response coming out. And so you can learn from this, and you can unearth the trauma that's been locked away in your body, in your psyche, in your aura, wherever. You can bring that to the light, and you can transmute it with your love and believe in yourself. Really fucking believe in yourself, Virgo. Like, I'm really getting a strong thing about that. So again, it's like, the 9 of wands, and this is an interesting card, because normally the 9 of wands, it's like a warrior who's wary, they've been guarding the fort, and they're just tired. But the 9, it's almost to the 10, so the cycle's almost done. You're so close to being able to put your burdens down. It's interesting the way it's pictured on this card. And I had to study it for a minute before I started the video, because I'm like, and I love this deck, but I've never felt so pulled into it. Something that really draws my eye is there's these skulls right here. So that does feel like something is dead, something has died, and it's you. It's a former version of you. Who are you no longer? Or who, recognize what you've released. Recognize those things that are yourself, that traumatized person, the self-sabotaging person. And I feel like to greater and lesser degrees, that's all of us. We all carry traumas. We're all in this world. It's kind of traumatic being a person, even if you live the most joyful life ever, blah, blah, blah. We all have our challenges. And so, we're constantly renewing our consciousness, renewing our faith, renewing our, commitment, renewing our soul's creative urge, renewing whatever, And so, last winter solstice, it's funny, this hair is just always has to make me look this way. Last winter solstice, I actually had a funeral for myself. And I laid to rest all of those parts of me that just could not come forward with me, all of those parts of me. And since then, this year has definitely been a lot of growth and a lot more releasing and whatever. And so I speak this to you to just, correlate that, it's okay to, there's just to acknowledge who you no longer are, what no longer is relevant to your life. And sometimes there's some major things that, we really have to have these shattering experiences to really recognize what we're done with. And so I do feel like it's this phase. And so it's like, but ultimately this is a card of don't give up. And then I started looking around, and it's like all these little pieces of nature. There's mushrooms under a jar, and there's fruit hanging over here, but then the outside is shining in. And so it's funny, here we are about to go into, we're heading towards the fall equinox, and wintertime's coming. Wintertime's coming, baby, But this is more an indication of no, the spring is coming. So it's funny how it can be opposite, but spring, something is about to, there's some sort of illumination where you can step outside of your comfort zone. You can step outside of holding up or guarding the fort or all of those things. It's almost time to step outside. And so, yeah, I spent a lot of time on that one, but it just feels like it needed to go through that. So don't walk away from whatever you were hoping these things were, as far as the inspiration part of it, as far as like the idea for, if it's an idea for a business or something, just something that's going to really be a long term, you know. And so if it's a relationship, this is someone who's going to invest in you and someone you want to invest your time in. And it feels like I'm maturing, you know, kind of with this moon, with these energies too. I don't know why I get a sense of like, as we release the old part of us, we release like any kind of Peter Pan syndrome or any kind of, you know, now all of a sudden it's safe to be where we're at in this time of life. You know, whatever phase you find yourself in, suddenly it's safe to be here now, exactly as you are, exactly the age you are, exactly the circumstances. And if you look around, I'm feeling like I'm really getting it's like a golden light I'm being shown. And it very much, it's like this light shining in through this hole, or this, you know, it's not really a window, but it's very much like an illumination. And it's like, really be in your body, really be in your present moment awareness, this moment, and just look around at what you are grateful for. Look around at what you do appreciate, you know. And sometimes it's so easy to like, oh, the dryer's broken or whatever, but it's like, God, I'm so grateful I have a home. I'm so grateful to even have a space for a dryer, you know. And it's like just shifting your perspective of like, man, I am so grateful. I'm so, you know, instead of complaining, it's like, wow, I am so grateful that I have such abundance and such greatness in my life that I can even complain about such a thing. You know, you're not sitting out in the rain, hopefully. Hopefully you're not sitting out in the rain. There is shelter available for you. Ooh, there is shelter available for you. So, and then this 10 of Pentacles, it's like there is shelter available for you. So it's like the more you attune yourself to what you're grateful for, the more you're going to draw more of that security to you, more of that shelter, more of that security, you know. So, okay, so we're going there. Then we've got this Herald of Winter, which is the Knight of Swords. And really these energies were tucked in between these other energies I'm going to speak about, but these two aces with the moon really wanted to stand out. But this is about that. So it feels like there's fast moving energy coming towards you. Swords represent communication. So, and then looking at these other two, I'm definitely going to pull more cards because again, I think that's why we had to go into these first, because the way you feel about this is still this reflective energy, and you're still not feeling so good that this shit didn't work out. So we're gonna bring you into feeling better about it. So again, this fast moving energy, I do feel like you're gonna get some sort of encouraging message. And messages can come from anywhere. It can be me giving you the message. It can be, but it feels like it'll be a more personal message. But look for messages. It can be like divine messages, like, you know, 333 on the clock, or, you know, 1111, or it can just be somebody calling you up and saying, don't give up. But so just know that you are bringing messages to you. And I guess the reason I'm like faltering a little bit is because these two cards here are not easy. So it's the 5 of Spring reversed with the 4 of Winter, the 4 of Swords upright. So, I mean, it does feel like, okay, well, it does all go in. It's like you're licking your wounds. Licking your wounds. I do feel like, you know, all those, I don't know how many stages of grief or whatever, and I don't mean to smile, all those 5 stages of grief. No, I'm just kidding. But because we want to move the energy. We want to move the energy. We're right here. They're like, don't give up, don't give up. And so it's like, again, licking your wounds kind of energy, and at least the fight is over. So it again, these didn't work out because there was some sort of a drama. And I don't feel like it was so much just between you and you. Sometimes we can have this internal dialogue that creates a lot of drama, and we fight with ourselves. And it could be that you were fighting back and forth with yourself. I do kind of get the sense that this was interactions with another person or other people. And so again, it's like licking your wounds. It's like it was irreconcilable differences. That's ultimately what I get. There was irreconcilable differences. Nobody has to be the villain in this. And so it's just, you know, I feel like there was a lot of love. You've got this Ace of Cups, even if it's reversed. And I kind of get a sense that like maybe, you know, in this, you know, Four of Swords energy, this is about kind of retreating, and it's sad. He looks so cold. But it's really about like meditating after heartbreak, after disappointment. And so again, with this Five of Wands reversed, it's like you're reflecting on what went wrong, reflecting on engaging with disagreements, reflecting on all of these things. And I just get a sense with this Ace of Cups reversed especially and also this Ace of Pentacles reversed, I feel like maybe you were giving more of yourself. It's almost like you were trying to prove, or it's like you were trying to do so much yourself. And not that you did anything wrong, and not that I don't think it could have turned out any other way. Whatever this team was, or whatever this coupling was, or whatever this interaction, this partnership, or whatever it was, whatever this opportunity was, I feel like there were going to be irreconcilable differences anyway, because you were learning. You were still learning. You were informing yourself more and more about what you truly want to create this Ten of Pentacles. And so, and so again, coming back to this Ace of Cups, it feels like, you know, the cup is turned over. So it's like even when others wanted to give you accolades, even when, or the universe wanted to reward you, it's like you were so busy hunched over carrying all the burdens that it just rolled. You know, it's like letting the drama roll right off your back. Instead of doing that, you absorb the drama and you let the rewards just roll right off your back. And stop doing that. You are worthy. You deserve so much more. And so, you know, you don't have to like deflect all your good and give it to everybody else to prove your worthiness. Like it's there's an ingrained belief system that goes into that, but that's not really what's best for you. Oh, my nose is running with all this rain and stuff. I may only be doing your video here and go home for the other earth signs. But anyway, so learning from that, recognizing where you could have received more. And then again, I just feel like with this Ace of Pentacles reverse, again, it's like you were giving and giving and giving, trying to prove and prove and prove. It's like, you know, I sing, and it's like with a duo, and it's like insisting that I be the only one that carries all the equipment, which often I did because my music partner's old. But you know, but when he was younger, because we've been playing together for 20 years, you know, maybe I did this, you know, I could have had him carry more equipment, but I had to prove, you know. And so it's that sort of thing. It's like, get out of that state of mind that you have something to prove, because you don't have any fucking thing to prove. All right, we're gonna go to this deck now. I love when I've got two decks that used to belong to my grandmother. And so whenever it's one of these decks, I'm like, oh, my grandma has something to say. She's probably talking to your grandma. All right, so, and just so you see, the sun is on the bottom of the deck. So, and it just flew off. So I feel like I'm gonna talk about this, and then this Five of Pentacles reversed underneath that while I shuffle. So it's like choosing your brilliance regardless of what belief systems say. And there's still so many people and us, we're learning to extricate ourselves from the toxic paradigm, or hopefully we are. I sure the fuck am. But, you know, we're learning to extricate our beliefs from that, the lack matrix, as Amanda Flaker calls it. I check out Amanda Flaker. I really like her. Whoa. Well, that card just went flying. Disengaging from the lack matrix, the lack paradigm. And so it's like, again, it comes back to that same message about feeling like you have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself. You don't have any fucking thing to prove. You don't have anything to prove. You don't. People can demand explanations, and you know what you can say to them? I don't have anything to prove to you. It's like they don't know what to say after that. Yeah, but this, well, I don't have anything to prove to you. Now, I guess if it's out of job or whatever, but still bringing that energy into yourself I don't have anything to prove. I don't have anything to prove. You know, I'm doing the best I can because I am living my best life, and I want to show up fully because that's who I am. And as a Virgo, like, you know, that's who the fuck you are, man. But pulling out of that paradigm, feeling like we have to prove something, we have to prove our worthiness, and we need outside influences, outside people, outside whatever, to suddenly find us worthy. And so we put all of our value in other people's hands, and we're never good enough when we do that. So I feel like by aligning to your own brilliance, your own divine, beautiful expression of self, and I really feel like encouraging you to be creative too, whether it has to do with your money or whatever, those aces and stuff. It does feel like there's some creativity if you're wanting to start your own business or whatever. But even if it's not tied directly to your abundance, just shine your light, shine your brilliance in any way that you can. Write. You know, get a journal, write things, draw a picture. Even if you can't draw, be abstract. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. You're an artist. Just start allowing the creative flow to come through your being and just allow yourself to express. Sing, 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 sing. I sing because I want to sing. Just sing, I sing, you know. Just let yourself express. Let your brilliance shine. Let your light shine through whatever it is, because this Five of Pentacles is reversed. And they call it worry. And it's like, don't worry. Listen to some Bob Marley, you know, about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be all right. This is a very singing video today, Virgo. Well, whatever though. I just want you to sing. I want you to sing. And just trust. Learn to trust. This is the opposite of abandonment issues. Get out of that paradigm of thinking. Get out of that program. Release yourself. Only you can make yourself free. And you do that by knowing that prime reality is within. And you can tap your thymus and affirm that prime reality is within. Prime reality is within. Prime reality is within. And really align to what is the truth of that. Prime reality is within. And so everything emanates from you, and everything outside of you is a reflection, or it's a ripple coming back to you that's directly connected to what you're vibrating out. And I know that's not what we're normally taught. So it takes a bit to adjust to thinking that way, if it resonates as truth for you, if you want to think that way. But really, it's time to let your brilliance shine. And the card that fell was the Hanged Man reverse. And so that just says, you've waited long enough. Those aces reversed. It's like, it's time to start over again. It's time to get started again. Time to go. Just give it another chance. And don't be attached to outcomes. Do it for the sake of creating. After this failure, so what if you fail again? The important thing is that you try. You try. That creative urge will never fucking go away. And if it ever does die, how sad. Fuck that. Shine your light. Be as brilliant as you can. Just be creative for the sake of creating. Just give it a try, not for it needs to do this. You don't need to have that energy in your body. That is stress. That's traumatic. That creates more of the same, and you get stuck in a loop. And it's like, you don't need to do that. Get out of that energy. Get out of that mindset. You have a choice, but you have to choose. You have to decide, and fucking decide now. Yeah, and this is more of the same kind of thing, Five of Cups energy. It's just more of that same message repeating, and usually I like to say with the Five of Cups, honor your grief. Whatever. If you're still grieving something, the loss of something, definitely honor it. Don't pretend it's not there. Don't pretend you don't feel that way. Don't definitely honor whatever you're feeling. Honor that grief. But at some point, you can decide for yourself, you know what? I'm done with this energy. I'm done with this energy. And then this is all about, you turn around, there's still 2 cups standing. You pick up those cups, you nourish yourself, and you keep moving. You go across the bridge into the castle. There's a whole nother adventure just waiting for you. Whole new adventure waiting for you. But now you've got wisdom. Now you've got experience in life. And so this adventure can still go towards the same, kind of destiny that you've always wanted, or it can be a brand new adventure. Maybe you just had to completely release all former, beliefs, all former, like life goals in a way. It's like, whatever it is, say you wanted to be an astronaut or whatever, and maybe you've gotten to a point in your life where you're like, I just don't even want that anymore. And I don't like to throw age in there, but it could just be like, things have so not worked out so much that in the whole time it took for things not to really work out, I became really interested in this anyway. And actually, I'm more passionate about doing this. I feel more confident doing this. I think I'm going to go in this direction. It's okay to change direction. It's okay. It's okay to start over. And whatever those aces are talking about, just go towards what fills your cup. Go towards what makes you feel secure. Go towards what nourishes you. Go towards something you believe in when it comes to you and your life. All right. And then, and then you've got the Wheel of Fortune. Upright. Things moving in your favor. So just know, honor your grief, take all the time you need, but also know that you don't really need to hang around in that energy. It is over. You've almost achieved it. You've almost won the battle, or I don't even like the battle. It's like whatever battles. It's like you. Come on, Fairlight, spit it out. It's more that you can just free yourself from the whole. It's not even your battle. You can free yourself from it all. You never had anything to prove. All the while you've been trying to prove yourself with something, and it was like a carrot dangling in front of your face. And fuck that. Fuck that. So, go ahead and stop, ruminate. I mean, again, honor your grief, but then allow yourself, you don't have to ruminate in that energy anymore, because you're brilliant. There's this light that wants to shine through you. There's this creative urge that wants you to move forward. There's this new adventure just calling you home. So just know, when you're ready, things can turn in your favor. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, Virgo. All right, I think I'm complete with this message. Hopefully you're complete with that. If you would like a personal reading, you can hit me up at airyfairytarot@gmail.com. I'm also on TikTok, airyfairytarot. I'll put all those links below. All right, peace and love to your day. Thank you. Bye.